Matthew Holinati of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save On Foods' $1 Million touchdown to win. If the kickoff is return for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are return for touchdowns, you could win $1 million. Good luck, Matthew. Let's get you at Hamilton and join Rod Smith and Dwayne Ford.
Thank you, Kate. With a look at Tim Hortons Field on a chilly autumn night here, Friday 18. And the Saskatchewan Roughriders venturing east. They want to do it again about a month from now as the playoff crossover team. To do that, they have to finish ahead of the third place team in the east, which happens to be the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So this is a big one tonight. At running back for the Riders, Shaq Cooper, with all the injuries they've had, Cooper has not played yet this season.
Yeah, and Cooper is a guy who comes in. He's been around the league for about 4 years, but really with about a season's worth of experience. One of the challenges for him is just going to be that game shape at this stage of the year, having not had a lot of reps. We'll see if he's able to sort of carry the load for the Riders into the third and fourth quarter of this football game. Of course, one of the guys who's going to make his life difficult in attempting to do that between the tackles, big Micah Johnson, over 120 games in the Canadian Football League, 51 career sacks from the inside.
Heard the panel talking about that. One of the matchups to talk about is Shaq Cooper making his season debut and his debut in green and white. And there is Shaq Cooper there, and there is Michael Domagala. Friday Night Football weekend 2, and a big one here between the Ticats and Saskatchewan Roughriders. It's Albert Awachi with the ball, and on a shorter kickoff against the wind, which will be a story, by the way, as Cody Fajardo comes on. He'll have the wind at his back in the first quarter.
And Cody Fajardo obviously has had an up and down season in Saskatchewan. Most not liking the way that things have trended in recent weeks, but I think the feeling for Cody and for this football team, looking for a strong finish, and as you alluded to in the opening, Rod, that kind of starts here. They're in playoff mode with this football game, with a playoff position quite literally on the line between these two teams.
It's in the air. It feels like a playoff game tonight. On first down, here it's into the hands of Kyron Moore, who gets hit as he crosses the 50 of Saskatchewan. A look at the Rough Riders starting offense, brought to you by Expedia.
And Dan Clark again at center. He made his return to the lineup last week, banged up a little bit in that one, but good to go here. So his second start as the anchor of that offensive line. We mentioned Shaq Cooper at running back. Injuries at that running back position have been a big storyline for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Frankie Hickson had just been starting to get going when he got hurt. They hoped Cooper could provide some of that spark.
2nd and 4, and he had time and was trying for Shaq Evans, but Fajardo's pass goes incomplete, so it is a 2 and out for Saskatchewan. Kari Vedvik will come on to punt.
Timing maybe a little off, as you saw between the receivers, Evans and Moore, on that one. Ball just glancing off the fingertips.
Special teams matters. This man, Lawrence Woods, was the #1 punt returner in the CFL until he got hurt. His first game back since August 20th. Ticats glad to have 37 back in as he takes it inside the 15. Good coverage by the Riders downfield, though, as Woods gets no further than the 21. So Dane Evans coming on. No touchdown passes, no picks in that game in Montreal 2 weeks ago. The week before, 5 touchdown passes, no picks against Winnipeg.
Yeah, and the storyline for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, it started in week 1 with that game against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Turnovers have been an issue, have been very, very costly to this football team, and for Dane Evans specifically. If he's able to protect the football, he obviously puts himself in a pretty good position to be successful here.
You talked about it in the pregame. He was sacked 8 times by the Riders in week 1. Handing off, Wes Hills, starting running back for the Ticats. And he has been productive, too, as we look at what Hamilton's doing offensively to start.
Yeah, we mentioned some changes along that offensive line since these two teams last saw each other. Tyrone Riley makes his 5th start at the left tackle position. In the receiving corps, Stephen Dunbar, the latest to go down. Terry Godwin, the former Georgia Bulldog, steps in at wideout.
Hill stays in on 2nd down and short after he picked up 7 yards on that carry from the 27. Hills again, first down, gets it up to about the 34 for Hamilton.
And As we talk about an injury bug, this is a Saskatchewan group that's been hit a little bit along that defensive line, but Pete Robertson back in the lineup for a number of games now. They're still looking for him to duplicate the kind of production he had early in the year. Former Ticat star Larry Dean doing well in Saskatchewan. He switched over to the will linebacker spot from his usual place in the middle. Keep an eye on Blaise Brown at that halfback position in the secondary.
34, starting from the 34, Wes Hills gets more. He breaks a couple of tackles. He gets it up across the 40.
Hamilton working against the wind out of the gate here. That contributing to the run-heavy offense that we're seeing. Not just a matter of avoiding putting the ball up in the wind, but also they want to keep that clock running, use up Saskatchewan's time with the wind at their backs.
We're grinding it out, back in the hands of Hills again, and looks to be shy of a first down, had to get to the 44.
Got a rider slow to get up. After that play, it looks like AC Leonard.
We've talked all about what's at stake. Orlando Steinauer said he didn't have to point it out, just how important this game is. Same with Craig Dickinson. Steinauer knows that despite the season they've had so far, if they win out, including tonight, of course, they are guaranteed a playoff spot. They win the remaining games. They got to go to Calgary and then back-to-back with Ottawa to close it out after this. And for Dickinson, it's a bye and then back-to-back against his brother Dave and the Stampeders to end their season. But they can go a long way towards clinching that last playoff spot in the crossover with the victory tonight. 3rd and 1. Offense staying in. Dane Evans. It's tough. Very close. He needed about a foot. Darnell Sankey, as you'll see other teams do, pointing the other way, but he did not get much. This will be interesting. They do have it.
Ticats have it. As you said, Rod, not by a lot. If you look in the background at that first down marker. Nice surge there from DeMarcus Christmas. Good second effort there from the Ticats QB.
Just that last surge by Evans. Little play action fake. And Evans struggling to get rid of it, finding an open receiver. He was aiming for the new receiver, Terry Godwin. It falls incomplete.
And again, a little bit of pressure forces an adjustment there for Dane Evans as he set up to pass and had to re-cue basically after seeing pressure in his face. But recent weeks, win and a loss, that big win over Winnipeg, and as you mentioned, the loss in Montreal. But Dane Evans looks to have his personal ship pointed in the right direction after a rocky start to the year.
On 2nd and 10. And they nearly get him. DeMarcus Christmas nearly did. Throws it to Tim White. And that is dropped. So it falls short. It'll be 3rd down. Punting unit coming on for the Ticats.
A nice escape here from Dane Evans as pressure comes on the play. You'll see him spin away from Christmas, able to get that pass off. Tim White just unable to pull it in.
Mario Alford, great punt returner for Saskatchewan, is back to receive this from Michael Domagala, who stands at his 30. Alford has 3 kick return touchdowns this year, none of them on punts. And into the breeze, a shorter one taken off a hop. Alford. And good special teams tackle there by Tyler Ternowski down at the Saskatchewan 31. 2-0 start. Saskatchewan Roughriders have the ball again in a crucial game here in Hamilton on Friday Night Football.
CFL Thanksgiving weekend is brought to you by Purolator.
Back in a chilly, breezy autumn night, Friday night here at Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. Early on, Saskatchewan about to start their 2nd possession after 33. They have the wind at their back. Hamilton had won the toss and deferred. It could be a factor in this game tonight. On the ground, Shaq Cooper new running back for the Roughriders, and his debut with Saskatchewan getting the carry and not much there.
Well, you know, it'll be tough sledding in the interior of that defensive line. Ted Laurent draws into that starting lineup. Dylan Wynn, of course, on the 6-game injured list. We'll lose one part of that veteran D tackle rotation. Kyle Wilson at the weak side linebacker spot. He's filled in admirably there for much of the year with Simone Lawrence down. Veteran Deontay Evans returns at the field corner position.
Pressure coming. Tunde Adeleke nearly got Fajardo, and they end up finishing it off. Kyle Wilson in there. So the Ticats, something they couldn't do in that first game in week 1 in Saskatchewan, and that was get heat on Fajardo. They do there, and a 2-and-out for the Roughriders.
Tunde Adeleke coming from the bottom of your screen. There's a nice job keeping contain on it as he gets picked up. Taking away the passing lane, getting his hands up, but in particular not letting Cody Fajardo escape the pocket as he waits for the rest of the troops to close in. Now, it looked like there was some contact up high.
Saskatchewan is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe there was roughing the passer on the play.
Well, you just see the hand on the face mask of Tunde Adeleke.
And he grabbed too. This should be a call against the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Be a big break for the Riders early on with the wind. Haven't been able to do anything yet offensively. They can get this penalty and stay on the field offensively.
A little boost, not just in terms of staying on the field, but obviously nice chunky yardage as well for Saskatchewan.
Rider offense coming back on.
After review, there was a face mask on the play on the quarterback, which will result in a 15-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage and a first down.
Fans here don't like it, but you saw it again. Have another look. Tunde Adeleke moving in and Cody Fajardo.
Yeah, you see Adeleke, number 2. Goes up looking to block the pass when Fajardo pulls it down. It's just a reaction, trying to make the tackle, but ends up grabbing that face mask. Easy 15-yard call for the officials.
Yeah, that chunky yardage puts them up. They're 49 now on a first down by penalty. Shaq Cooper again, second carry. And may have lost a yard there. It's difficult real estate inside, as you talked about, Dwayne, against this Hamilton defense.
Well, they're going to make life rough on Shaq Cooper here as he makes his return to the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Number 1 rush defense in the CFL, Hamilton Tiger Cats. No gain. 2nd and 10. Riders. Quick pass. Kean Schaefer-Baker first down and more. Schaefer-Baker finally hauled down by Adeleke, but not until he gets inside the Hamilton 40.
Well, Kean Schaefer-Baker continues his tremendous sophomore season here in the Canadian Football League. 2020 draft pick out of the University of Guelph. He and Curly Gittins have been dueling it out as the top Canadian receivers in terms of yardage so far this season.
Schaefer-Baker second to Gittins, just went over 800 for the season on that one, a gain of 24. There's Jack Evans with a nice catch and a lower pass and gets it inside the 35. Schaefer-Baker, though, in his second season, and look what he has done. And this is what you're talking about, that race he is going with the Argos' Curly Gittins.
Yeah, we'll see Curly Gittins tomorrow, but, you know, specific to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Schaefer-Baker, you know, never mind the Canadian thing. And, yeah, great to see 4 guys from U Sports schools, by the way, at the top of that list as skill position players in this league, but leading the Saskatchewan Roughriders in receiving by a wide margin, about 300 yards.
Fajardo rolls out, and then he dumps it off to a wide-open Braden Lenius. Down at the 10, taken out of bounds, and another first down for Saskatchewan.
Well, penalty proving costly here. So far, Lenius starts out in the backfield alongside his quarterback, Cody Fajardo. He's often used in the blocking schemes. Big body, a guy who has some experience as a tight end from his college career as well as wide receiver. But here, releasing, gets lost in coverage as they anticipate that he's just going to be a blocker on this play. Nice find as an outlet for Cody Fajardo for a big pickup.
Right down to the 10 and a first down. Riders pressing. A look inside the 5. Caught. Touchdown, Saskatchewan. Kean Schaefer-Baker has it. And that penalty was very costly against Hamilton, as it turns out.
Well, Schaefer-Baker continuing to do his thing. Just a quick hitter with, as you see, Cariel Brooks sort of sitting off, waiting to make the tackle. Schaefer-Baker takes what he's given, just sitting down in front of the defender. Easy pickings for Fajardo.
Went to school not far from here at the University of Guelph, so closer to a homecoming for Schaefer-Baker with the point after. By Brett Lother. Penalty extended the drive. Riders made the Ticats pay. Couple of big plays, including to this guy, Schaefer-Baker. Touchdown Saskatchewan in a 7-0 lead.
Here you're going to see Kean Schaefer-Baker is working against Cariel Brooks, the halfback. Brooks is just giving him a little bit of space, so all Schaefer-Baker's going to do is just sit down in front of him. Brooks backpedals into the end zone. Take the space you're giving me. First and goal situation for Saskatchewan. With a few cracks to get in, they could afford to chip away, but all they needed was one shot to their go-to guy. The game's first major.
Their leading receiver and his 5th receiving touchdown of the season, so 7-0. And taking it on the kick return is Lawrence Woods. Up, trying to tiptoe down after he got across the 40. Flags come out as he out of bounds. Brett Lother, the kicker, making sure he was out, but the flag does come to Dane Evans. Now in a 7-0 hole. Matthew Shinetti will have an update on him when we come back. Now it's the Riders' turn to take a big penalty on the kick return. Woods out of bounds, and the kicker, Brett Lother, comes in and knocks him down, and the flag comes out for unnecessary roughness. Let's head down to the sidelines now, and Matthew Shinetti.
How many injuries has Dane Evans had this season? Well, yesterday during walkthrough, he was wearing a compression sleeve on his left leg, which happens to be his plant leg. He was limping a little bit. I asked Orlando Steinauer about it. He didn't give me much, and then I asked Dane Evans pregame about it. He said, listen, I'm straight, I'm good. I've been watching, and I will keep watching it, Rod.
Well, Matthew, we knew he had the shoulder injury, and the way he played a few weeks ago against Winnipeg especially suggested the arm was just fine. We shall see. A play fake as he looks deep. Open receiver two, it's Anthony Johnson. And down to the Rider 5. Johnson, just his 2nd game this season, had a touchdown against the Ottawa Redblacks. He hasn't played since.
Well, Dane Evans answering questions about his shoulder right there. Anthony Johnson lining up in the slot. Big target. This is a nice guy for them to add back into their lineup with Stephen Dunbar out of the mix. Just a little bit of confusion on the back end there for Saskatchewan. Evans off play action takes advantage with a big throw.
His first year out of Buffalo, Anthony Johnson had 2 catches for 66 yards against Ottawa. That was 50 on the ground now. Wes Hills has it and takes it down to about the Rider 3, so a 2nd and goal coming up for Hamilton. Trying to answer right back after the Rider touchdown.
Yeah, there's always something to be said about how you respond. You know, Saskatchewan gets a touchdown when given a 2nd chance by that face mask penalty against Tunde Adeleke that kept their drive alive. And Hamilton, a couple big plays here, a chance to answer.
2nd down. Hills pushing. response, but he clearly broke the plane, and a Ticat touchdown.
Wes Hills, 220-pounder in that backfield. He brings all of it with him right here. Looks like he stopped.
Was the knee down there?
Knee was down, yeah. That knee was down. He was still driving forward, but on the initial sort of collision with Darnell Sankey, his knee was definitely down before he crossed that goal line.
That was on a 2nd and goal. That comes back. A big 3rd down will be coming up for Hamilton.
After review, the ball carrier was downward contact at the 1-yard line. It will be 3rd down.
See that right knee?
Clearly. So not so fast for Ticats fans. Thought they had an answer to tie the game. The ball will be at the 1, and it'll be 3rd down. Dane Evans remains in. Handled short yardage the last time out earlier in this quarter. Evans keeps it. Does he break the plane? Touchdown. They do signal that he did get across.
Initial look, it looked like Evans found a little bit of a seam just to the right of his center here. On the right butt cheek of David Beard. He disappears into the mass of humanity. Just across that line of scrimmage. Take a look from the reverse angle here. You can see from sort of body position as he disappeared into the pile that the ball was across the front plane of that line of scrimmage.
So Evans gets the touchdown. And the point after try coming from Seth Small. Up and through. No, it actually got pushed. That breeze pushed it. And Mario Alford taking it out. And he gets across the 30. And finally gets pushed out of bounds. But looked like it had gone through, but you can see what kind of mess that the wind can play. That drive, by the way, predominantly against the breeze. They get the touchdown, not the extra point. 7-6 Roughriders. Tonight, the Ticats are honoring the 1972 Grey Cup champions that beat Saskatchewan here in this footprint of land, Iberwin Stadium, led by their rookie quarterback, Chuck Ely. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
Rod, I am so pleased to be joined by the man who was the Rookie of the Year, the Grey Cup MVP, and won the 1972 Grey Cup, and that had not been done before. Mr. Ely, when you see that 1972 up there, knowing that great accomplishments get celebrated for a long time, to have the 1972 team celebrated again, what's that mean?
It's a wonderful thing to see my teammates, or former teammates that I play with, be here, those that are here. Really appreciate that. That is just an amazing thing that happened to us in 72, and I'm very honored by it.
And your accomplishments as well, they carry on. There will be a scholarship in your name, the Black and Gold Chuck Ely Scholarship. To know it could influence the next generation, what does that mean?
Well, it was what happened to me, and people encouraged me, and I'm glad that there's something I've been able to do to encourage other young men or playing and whatever can happen with whatever they can do.
Appreciate this, Mr. Ely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. And Chuck Ely, wow, what a treat to hear from him. What a story he was in 72. Yes, I'm actually old enough to remember the 50th anniversary of that Grey Cup against the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And Bob Krause, Angelo Mosca. There's Chuck Ely, a rookie. Remarkable story by a team. They ended up winning on an Ian Sunter field goal at the end, just to beat Saskatchewan by 3.
Well, Ian Sunter was just a kid at the time, I believe 19 years old, kicking the walk-off field goal to win the Grey Cup.
Rider ball, James Tuck with it. Fumble, but they get it back, and it looks like they still do have the first down as well, up around the Rider 46.
Well, James Tuck picking up where he left off last week, a game in Winnipeg, where the big fullback got a couple of touches. Here he's going to line up just off to the right side of the backfield, motioning right to left, slipping out into the flat.
Ball spotted at the 47. Cody Fajardo. A 1-point lead, and he is taken down. Coming in, Mohamed Diallo, defensive tackle. And getting more playing time with the injury to Dylan Wynn, gets the sack.
This is a young man who I believe has a very bright future in this league. Mo Diallo, drafted out of Central Michigan University, transferred, played his last year at Arizona.
Went straight in unblocked.
Yeah, I mean, big dude, hyper athletic for his size.
2nd and 21, and a deep ball here. Fajardo. It's intercepted by Richard Leonard, who gets up, gets to the 50, gets to midfield before he's down. On that long 2nd down, Fajardo looks deeper and gets picked.
Justin McInnes was a deep receiver for Saskatchewan in this one. You're going to see him as this play unfolds, kind of down the middle of the field. Two Ticat defenders converge around him. You see right up at the right side there. Two defenders converging around him. Richard Leonard comes off of that and goes and gets the football. McInnes came up looking for a flag, and thus the challenge from the Saskatchewan sideline.
Craig Dickinson throwing that challenge flag, and yes, a big one it is in this situation. Complete change of
Saskatchewan
momentum.
is challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference on their receiver number 18. The play will be reviewed.
I do this.
Richard Leonard got the ball. Cameron Kelly back. McInnes, the intended receiver, and have another look at what Saskatchewan believes is PI.
Yeah, and you're going to see McInnes here. Watch for the Hamilton defender coming from the inside. That if these guys were two receivers, you know, I think that's Cameron Kelly dropping deep, and it's like he almost kind of rubs McInnes out. As it was like Richard Leonard and Cameron Kelly turned into the two receivers running a rub play, where Kelly kind of rubs out McInnes and Leonard goes and gets the football. And you see Kelly on the inside. You know, and my initial feeling when I looked at this was, yeah, you know, I get the collision, but that ball's not catchable for McInnes. But by the same token, if it's not catchable for McInnes, how did Richard Leonard get to it? Because he's actually coming from the other side of McInnes. He was farther away than the receiver, and he caught the ball.
Yeah, I mean, even if this does prove to be a penalty, it was a great athletic effort by Leonard to get close enough to get it. It was closed quickly when it looked like nobody was near where Fajardo had thrown it. So either Saskatchewan gets more yardage via penalty and keeps the ball, or if the call stands, what a swing. Hamilton ball right across midfield. So they've reviewed, and here's their decision.
After review by the command center, the ruling on the field stands. Saskatchewan is out of challenge, and they've just lost the timeout. First down, Hamilton.
We'll take one more look at this one. Big play from Richard Leonard. Assist perhaps going to Cameron Kelly on this one. Leonard just continuing to that football.
And to your point, you can't say it was uncatchable when Leonard was further away than McInnes was, and did catch it. Hamilton ball, faking to Wes Hills. Another deep look to the right for Dane Evans, looking for Tim White, and this one is intercepted. Nick Marshall, who gets taken down just outside the Rider end zone with his 4th interception of the season. And the only good happening there for Hamilton, of course, is the field position.
I'll keep an eye on the outside. Here, Marshall there, intended receiver Tim White. Just slightly inside. Nick Marshall, of course, a guy who has a bit of a reputation for peeking into the backfield, jumping short routes, etc. Hamilton may be gambling that he might do that in this instance, but he stays in good position with Tim White, and with the wind, the ball hangs up there a little bit, which gives Marshall a good opportunity to close when the ball is in the air and steal that one away on the jump ball.
I thought Marshall had got it out of the end zone. They are bringing it up to the 25, though, so a great turnaround and a turnover for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They take over at their 25. Fajardo carrying himself and gets it up across the 30. As said at first, I thought Marshall had just instinctively started a return and gotten it out.
Ain't gonna be like that all night, too. Stop playing with me, I'm like that.
Take one more look at where the tackle was made here.
Well, knee down just before, yeah. Which does work out a lot better for the Riders, of course, with that 1-point lead. A missed extra point by Seth Small the first time that's happened to him this season is the difference right now in a 7-6 game. With a man in Fajardo's face, he does complete that pass to the one they call Swerve, Kyron Moore. And that's right around the first down mark. It is indeed a first down as they switch ends, and the Riders will be going against the breeze. Drove down for a touchdown after a penalty. Hamilton answered back. Missed extra point. 7-6 game. Friday Night Football. Through one quarter here at Tim Hortons Field. We got a 7-6 game and very close in the important categories as well. Net yards, it's even at 79, and really touchdowns coming up to a big penalty against the Ticats for Saskatchewan. A big play. Dane Evans has one completion, 50 yards going to Anthony Johnson.
Yeah, and you know, Hamilton doing a decent job, I thought, in that opening quarter of sort of managing the clock as well, running the football. You saw them with an advantage in that department. Saskatchewan struggling to run the ball, trying to get Shaq Cooper involved early. Now working against the wind, that's going to be a little bit more important to them. So we'll see if they're able to gain any traction with that aspect of their offense.
Dane Evans, that one completion was against the wind. An impressive 50-yard strike there, as mentioned, to Johnson that set them up for their touchdown that he ended up scoring on a third down gamble down around the 1. The Rider 36 to start the second quarter. Saskatchewan first down. That's complete to Albert Awachi. Gets up near the Rider 50, and another first down for the green and white.
Well, always nice to see the fullbacks get a little bit involved this time. Albert Awachi, University of Toronto product. A nice segue for me to mention that the U of T Blues are hosting my Western Mustangs.
Oh, really?
This evening. Awachi picking up the first down on the play.
Dressing three fullbacks on the night. James Tuck, Bruno Lavelle as well. Seen Tuck get some touches in the last couple of games. And it's off to Schaefer Baker. He gets hit right away, but he pulls away. What a great effort by Kean Schaefer Baker, who has the touchdown for the Riders in this game. A little talk afterwards to not only make something about it, he gets a first down.
Well, we've seen Schaefer Baker lined up on the outside here. He's going to catch the quick hitter, but we've seen him running the ball out of the backfield a little bit this year, and he sort of demonstrates the skill set that makes that a possibility for him right here. A tall guy, a good lower body power. to run through some tackles.
Faking it to Cooper, getting it in the hands of Kyron Moore, and Hamilton's having none of it. Deontay Evans back in the lineup after missing substantial time with a hand injury in on that tackle.
Well, Jason Moss, one-time Hamilton Tiger Cat quarterback, the offensive coordinator for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and man directing traffic for Cody Fajardo. Good chess match going on between he and another former CFL star, Mark Washington, longtime CFL DB in Montreal and BC. The BC for the Cats.
After no gain, setting up a screen there for Cooper, and he is tackled by Kyle Wilson, who's been starting at will linebacker since the injury to Simone Lawrence. Great defensive play to force the Riders to punt.
Well, keep an eye on number 15, Kyle Wilson, off to the right side of your screen, his weak side linebacker position. Check out the pursuit here. He sees the play starting to develop, sees Cooper in the backfield, and he just starts tracking him. Able to run down the rider back before he gets going.
So now Vedvik will kick against the wind. Lawrence Wood standing inside his 10. They'll rush up to the ball. And it does get hung up in that breeze as Woods comes in. Catches it on the fly and gets it up to the 30. A flag is down back where the ball was punted, back in the Rider backfield. Sort that out in a moment. Big play, Wilson, in a close game, second quarter, Friday Night Football. Big playoff ramifications on the line. Thanksgiving weekend in the CFL continues tomorrow. Doubleheader Thanksgiving weekend presented by Purolator. Lions Argos to start things off, followed by the Elks and Blue Bombers, underway at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, only on TSN. Edmonton, like Ottawa, still not mathematically eliminated yet. So, as the saying goes,
there's still a chance.
They're saying there's a chance. Got to beat Winnipeg in Winnipeg. No easy task. Bombers at 13-2. Busy day tomorrow in the CFL West Hills. Gets it up across the 20 on that first down. Hill's playing in just his third game this season. Used sparingly, but busy the last couple of games. First against Winnipeg and then against Montreal, when Hills had 10 carries for 61 yards.
A second-year man. As you mentioned, Hamilton deciding to shuffle the lineup a little bit going into that Winnipeg game. Hill stepped in at running back for Don Jackson.
On the 2nd and 3, Evans throwing, and that was intended for Anthony Johnson, and it falls incomplete, little high in the first quarter. Those two hooked up for a 50-yarder. The only completion for Dane Evans so far in this game.
I see the tail end of this one. Johnson trying to get there. Derek Moncrief, as usual, providing blanket coverage.
So that's it for that drive. Domagala inside his 10. We got Kyron Moore and Mario Alford back for the return. Oh, pressure's coming. It's blocked. Saskatchewan football just outside the 10.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, as Hamilton lined up to kick this ball, I'm thinking to myself, I would line up to go block almost all the time when I'm playing against the wind in this stadium, but we'll talk more about it when we come back.
Michael Domagala has it blocked by Blaise Brown. Riders in business.
Taking a look at this block punt, you're going to see the Saskatchewan player come off the outside. Keep an eye on the deep back, the personal protector, Felix Garon-Gauthier. Now, his job is to look inside out, so he's going to look for any inside pressure first. He's got to make sure that's secure. Things get blocked up there, but he's just a little late bouncing back outside to help out.
From the Hamilton 13, Saskatchewan takes over. Fajardo getting chased down. He gets to the 10. Maybe down to the 9-yard line, so a second down is coming up. Blaze Brown inserted into the lineup because of an injury to Amari Henderson, and he's playing field half tonight with big special teams play in just his 3rd game of the season.
Take a look at the rush coming off that edge. Again, I said, when I'm the team against the wind in this situation, I'd rush the punter every time, because things to remember. Kicking with the wind, you know, you're not giving up much in terms of field position by going walk instead of return. But remember, the ball's going to take longer to get there because the snapper is snapping against the wind.
Second down, end zone look, touchdown. Justin McInnes has it. And again, the Riders take advantage of a Ticats mistake. And this one just took a couple of plays as the Riders open up their lead.
Well, nothing like a short field to buoy your offensive hopes going into the wind. Big play on special teams, providing the block punt. Cody Fajardo to Justin McInnes, taking advantage.
Let's go, baby. Way to go.
McInnes with the touchdown after that block punt. That's his 2nd of the season. And 2nd costly block punt allowed by Hamilton this year. They had a breakdown in coverage in their 1st game against Toronto back in early August. And it ended up in the hands of Benoit Marion of the Argos, who took it in for a touchdown. So special teams hurting the Ticats, and now a 14-6 lead after the Brett Lothar point after.
That's a grown motherfucking man right there.
Keep an eye on McInnes here. Trailing receiver working over there with Shaq Evans. Just gets Deontay Evans to bite on that outside move, creating a little bit of room for himself. Working back towards the post. See, the thing that scouts always loved about Justin McInnes is that big frame, long arms, big catch radius. Cody Fajardo just puts the ball near him. He goes and gets it, outreaching the defender.
So 2 touchdowns Saskatchewan on the night so far. The first one, after their offense wasn't moving, a penalty extending a drive, and they quickly moved down. And a Schaefer-Baker touchdown, this time a blocked punt, allowed them to start at the Hamilton 13, and a couple of plays later, they're in the end zone. They're leading 14-6. As mentioned, this really important game in terms of the playoff situation, with Saskatchewan knowing their only chance of the postseason is crossing over into the East. And Hamilton's the 3rd place team. And the Ticats are down. Lawrence Woods has it across the 40 and manages to get up over the 45 for Dane Evans to come back on.
1st and 10 to 46 for your Cats.
Well, we saw a strong response from Hamilton after Saskatchewan's first touchdown of this football game, looking to duplicate that again here in the 2nd quarter.
Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator, went to a lot of running plays against the wind, as Dwayne talked about in that first quarter. The breeze is at their backs. They're down by 8 with the ball at the Hamilton 46. 1st down and 10. 4-man rush with time. Over the middle, complete to Tim White, who leads the CFL in receptions coming into this game and has another one there across midfield.
We've talked in the past about Dane Evans' NFL Combine performance years ago, and the velocity of his throws. He gave us the fastball on this one, just zipping it on a line into Tim White. There goes over 1,000 yards on the season.
Exactly 1,000 on a 17-yard gain. Wes Hills to the left, gets inside the 45. But Tim White, in his 2nd year, he and Dunbar, the new receivers, and all that changed for Hamilton last year, and has really taken it a step further. As you look at the receptions leaders coming in, he already led the way. With 79 now, Eugene Lewis. And Lucky Whitehead, the closest to Tim White, coming in. That's in the hands of Lamar Durant. And that is is inside the 40 and close to another Hamilton first down. Very close.
Durant, the former Calgary Stampeder and BC Lion, here in his first season as a Hamilton Tiger Cat.
Third and short. Evans keeps. Got the Hamilton touchdown on short yardage. It is a first down. David Beard, the center. They played a handful of games since coming over from Edmonton, but has really helped solidify the interior of that Hamilton offensive line.
And you see Saskatchewan D coordinator Jason Shivers. What's a Toronto Argonaut teammate? Hamilton head coach Orlando Steinauer playing in that same Argo secondary.
Shivers also had a bit of time with the Ticats. Hills running. And on that first down, gets it inside the 30. So like before, although done very differently, we're seeing Hamilton try to respond after that Saskatchewan touchdown. It happened quickly in the first quarter on one big play, a 50-yarder to set them up.
Johnson, the recipient on that one.
Hills had 8. Got it again in the 2nd and 2, but no. Stopped that time. Again, very close, though. Just needed 2 yards. It is another first down, as Hills has been busy. 10 carries and around the 50-yard mark so far here in this first half.
Bearing in mind, as you see Hamilton having some success running the football here, Saskatchewan, you know, without the guys they started the season with on the interior of their defensive line, and you got to believe that's having a little bit of an impact.
Throwing it in behind, and the live ball there ends up being lost yardage.
Hamilton mixing it up, going to their 2 QB look. You'll see Matthew Schultz, the man in motion, catching that bubble screen, presumably looking to get in position to throw that ball. As I believe that was a lateral.
It was, and never had the chance, of course, because of the way the ball was positioned. So we've seen Tommy Hundell use that scenario before with his 2 QBs. And that one intended for White falls incomplete. So very quickly, while the Cats had something going, lost yardage on the previous play for Schultz, and it's a 3rd down now. And what is looking like around a 40-yard, a little bit more field goal try coming up.
Dane Evans had a short throw lined up there. Watch for AC Leonard coming from the top of your screen from his defensive end spot. Tim White is open on the quick crosser. But Evans knows he's got Leonard closing on him. He's just off the mark with the throw.
Gordon White with the long snap. Schultz puts it down. Seth Small puts it through. So the Ticats do get some response after the Riders score. With a small field goal, it's still a 5-point Rider lead. Riders by 5, under 5 to go till halftime. Let's go back to Matthew.
There's a wonderful lady here tonight, Rod. Miss 1959 Dominion Canada. That's Eileen Tudoroff and her husband Alex. Eileen, she dreamed of coming to a Ticats game. Now, COVID held her back from that, but she was given permission to come with her family tonight. And she has been a long-time Ticat fan. I was talking to her son, Will, who is also there in the shot. There she is as well, Miss 1959 Dominion Canada, as I said. And Will said that his mom's dream through COVID was to be here. It's not going maybe the way she wanted to, but it's good to see her in the building tonight, Pastor.
Still early, Matthew. Thank you. And good to see Eileen here. Ticats fan, and Albert Awachi had the ball and hits the signage as he heads out. But yes, Dominion of Canada, that was the title back a few years ago.
First down, Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan offense continuing to mix it up, getting their big bodies involved a little bit. We're watching with a couple of catches tonight. James Tuck with one as well.
And Shaq Cooper in the Rider backfield has the ball left side, but he is struggling to get yardage against that very difficult front Cameron Kelly. And Javon Santos knocks in on that tackle for him.
Well, you mentioned earlier Rod Hamilton with the top run defense in the Canadian Football League. A big part of that coming from their strength at the defensive tackle position, that combination throughout the year. Micah Johnson, Ted Laurent, Dylan Wynn. Wynn, of course, out of the lineup here. The Javon Santos Knox at middle linebacker has been just a monster this season as well.
Cooper got 4. They got 13 yards rushing. That's it for the Riders so far in this game. Pass, blitz coming, gets it away, complete. McInnes, who had a touchdown earlier, has the first down about the 47 of Hamilton.
Well, Kyle Wilson, the weak side linebacker, came free on this. Cody Fajardo was going to stand in. McInnes coming out of the slot, the intended target, but keep an eye right, bottom right corner of your screen. Wilson. Kyle Wilson lines up. He's going to come from depth here. Delivering that shot just as the ball is thrown.
Watch, he lines up a tight end. Cooper in the backfield. Tuck in there as well. And throwing and off to the left for Schaefer Baker. What a catch.
Just another day at the office.
Wow, he's having a night, isn't he? Down to the 20. Another first down, Saskatchewan.
This tremendous concentration from Kean Schaefer Baker. He knows the big crunch is coming here, but goes up and gets this one nonetheless. Magnificent catch.
Another 26 yards to his total, and it's early. 3 minutes till halftime.
For each of these promos, I'm going to give thanks to one of you individually. This time I give thanks to Davis Sanchez, who came early into work to decorate our sets for us today. Chez, you did a phenomenal job. And the fact that you're giving love to all the Canadian players in the CFL, including Schaefer Baker.
That's so cute.
Thank you, Kate. And thank you, Davis. I agree. Didn't quite see it, but I'm sure it was awesome. Halftime. Studio coming up. Kyron Moore keeps his feet. Trying to work his way down towards the 20. And that first down play, great play before by Kean Schaefer Baker to set up Saskatchewan in scoring position again.
Kean Schaefer Baker just continues to impress. No secret that this was one of my favorite guys in that 2020 draft class. In my book's a first rounder, but a guy who didn't go until round 4. Saskatchewan had taken a couple of receivers who he's lining up with, Lenius and McInnes, early in the draft the year before.
I remember talking to you about this last year when he made his debut. You thought it was one of the steals in the history of the CFL.
No question.
Schaefer Baker, big night. 2nd and 11. From the 22. Pressure coming on Fajardo. They've got him. Malik Carney was there. Finished off with some help, too. Boshawn Joseph inserted at linebacker tonight and making his presence felt.
And keep an eye as well here. Malik Carney getting the start at defensive end here tonight, getting good penetration there with the bull rush against Taron Vaughn.
So that pushes the Riders back to the Hamilton 34. And Brett Lawther is out. Or excuse me, Corey Vetvick is out. Just a little pooch punt. Deontay Evans. Flags coming out for no yards. But
yeah, a couple of onside players, I think. Make sure that they were, in fact, lined up behind the punter when the ball was kicked.
Now, I realize that wind is strong, but given where they were on the field, any surprise they didn't send Lawther out?
A little bit to me. I mean, he is a guy with a strong leg, but
would have been around the 40.
Yeah, a challenging one, and you know the fear of a ball being short as well with a guy like Lawrence Woods back there coming forward with momentum.
True.
To take a short kick.
So not taking any chances and bringing Vedvik in just to try a little pooch punt, but Hamilton does have the ball, all things considered, in reasonably good shape.
So take a look at the Saskatchewan players, 1, 2, 3, all lined up behind the punter. So as long as they're behind him at the time that the ball is punted, they, like the punter, are onside and therefore eligible to touch that ball.
On the previous play, number 50, Saskatchewan, was closing the line. Therefore, it's an illegal procedure, illegal formation. The 3 players were onside on the play. That illegal procedure penalty is declined. It will be Hamilton first down.
So trying the onside punt, but to no avail, even though those players were onside and eligible to recover the short punt by Vedvik. It's the other penalty that gets the rider. So Hamilton football, 2:06 on the clock until halftime.
Formation issue there for the Riders.
From the 26, flags out, ball to the left, and that is intended for the new Hamilton receiver filling in for Stephen Dunbar. That is Terry Godwin.
It looks like there might have been an offside on the Hamilton receiver on the other side of the formation. I believe that was Tyler Ternowski.
Offside. Hamilton, number 88. That penalty's declined. Second down.
You are correct, sir. So offside Ternowski. Declined, a second down and 10.
You see Ternowski at the bottom of your screen here, just leaning a little bit. Stutter step to try and stay on that side.
On the second down, Evans. Time over the middle, it's caught. Johnson, the big catch in the first quarter, and has one there to get Hamilton across midfield with the breeze at their backs in just under 2 minutes until halftime.
A nice timing route here between Dane Evans and receiver Anthony Johnson. And that in throws the strike down the middle. And nice awareness there as well by Johnson, sort of as he makes the catch, knowing where the defenders are, ready to make that move to make the miss.
Lamar Durant, his second catch of the evening. A flag comes out just as he goes down at around the Rough Rider 42. Durant missed
holding Hamilton, number 84. 10-yard penalty will replay first down.
So Johnson flagged for the hold as that negates. He's saying, who me? Did they get the right tie cap?
We'll take a look. Here is Johnson. I believe Ternowski were over there trying to set up to block. Ternowski on the outside. You can see ended up in a bit of a wrestling match with the Rider defender Jeremy Clark.
He said 84. It was 88 Tyler Ternowski. Flagged for the holding after nearly a first down gain there by Lamar Durant. I was mentioning he missed the first 6 weeks of the season with injury, his first season.
Timeout. Hamilton.
A little frustration by the looks of things in Dane Evans, and a 1st and 20, and they call a timeout.
Certainly signals crossed there for the Hamilton offense as they try to make the most of this last minute and 35 of this first half. Wind at their backs.
Evans to the left, and wide open is Tim White, who cuts back, picks up about 5 more yards. Tim White inside the Rider 30. And still plenty of time to go until halftime.
A nice recovery here from Dane Evans after the moment of frustration, forced to take a timeout on the heels of that holding penalty. Just dropping it into Timmy White along the sideline.
That 1st and 20, a gain of 33, so inside the 30, the 29 of Saskatchewan. Hamilton's trailing by 5. Flushed out of the pocket, looking off to his right, and it is low. White's the closest one there. Jeremy Clark, the closest rider, as it just hits the turf shy of the Saskatchewan end zone.
Well, Dane Evans is going to get forced out of the pocket, but keep an eye sort of down the seam to his right. You're going to see Tim White appear wide open, but Evans unable to sort of get his feet set and throw the ball the way he wants. It comes up short. The busted coverage left the league's receptions leader wide open.
You see Blaise Brown going away from him, so Riders catch a break. Setting up the screen, it's intercepted by Pete Robertson. How often do you see that in a defensive end? And getting in the way of the screen. Jason Shiver's loving that as the Rider D celebrates a late turnover with barely a minute to go till halftime.
Now Robertson's here at defensive end. What you're going to see is Tim White is coming on a screen path here. That's who Dane Evans is looking for. But Pete Robertson recognizes what's coming. You see him rush upfield and then start backing out because he recognizes what the play is and gets himself right in that lane to steal one away from the Tiger Cats. Points off the board right there.
Jason Shivers, applause for that. What a brilliant play by Robertson reading the screen. Second interception thrown by Evans tonight. 15th on the season. Fajardo, he's facing some heat. Runs out of time. Julian Hauser and Malik Carney are there to push the Riders further back under a minute to go now.
Well, they get Hauser lined up inside on this one. So basically 2 pass rushers, 2 defensive ends side by side. There's Hauser on the inside, Carney at the end spot. Mason Bennett is the other end. So they're going with sort of a smaller, quicker lineup here up front. Getting after that Riders O-line a little bit.
So a 2nd and 18. The clock ticks towards halftime. Fajardo. Cooper's biggest play as a Rider. He takes that to get it back up. Still shy of the 40 and on a 3rd down. Faced a lot of heat. He was not sacked in the opener against Hamilton, but look at the number of times that he has gone down. Faced a lot of pressure this season.
Yeah, well, to think that there have been, I mean, there's a game he didn't play, a couple of games where he didn't get sacked, and so to think you've got those 54 sacks condensed. Fajardo taken down behind the line of scrimmage, an average of over 4 times a game.
3rd time he is sacked tonight. Yeah, what a difference. You consider he wasn't sacked last week against Winnipeg, or as mentioned in the season opener. A 3rd and 5 now as they run down the clock. Redvick to kick it away from his 30, and it's another short one. Not intentionally that time as he comes back for it, and he touches it. He, of course, is eligible. It hit him. He could have picked it up. The flag's automatically coming out. 4 no yards, but no yards, no time. Academic at this point.
Greg Dickinson kicked the ball a little bit himself in college. They kind of running through the rules here with Corey Vedvik, who is kind of like he kind of knew he could go after the ball, but didn't seem all that committed. Not sure if he made a little bit of a business decision on that one, electing not to pick it up.
Vedvik's previous punt was short against the wind intentionally, with players on side trying to maintain possession. So a flag is out with zeros on the clock. Brett Lothar, the kicker, beside Vedvik. And Seth Small, the kicker for Hamilton, on the field. Of course, if it can't end on a penalty, and that's the Ticats' decision, of course, they could have a shot on this last play of the half at a field goal after all, denied on the interception by Robertson before, when they were at the very least in field goal range. So that's the discussion by the officials.
We're checking if there was still time on the clock. The ball was first touched by the kicker. Therefore, Hamilton never touched the football. We're going to wait if there was time on the clock as the play expired.
We'll take another look, and you'll see this one just sort of pops straight up in the air off Vedvik's foot. Bounce coming back to him. Off his foot, Hamilton gets hands on it.
Definitely time left on the clock before the half. It had kept ticking down to 0, but you can see there was time left on the clock.
I love that little grin from Orlando Steinow.
This one, you think you've seen it all. Another bizarre end to a half, and we've seen a few of these here in Hamilton.
Review. The kicker, number 70, was the first player to touch the football. That player kicked the ball as a dribble ball. And at that point, Saskatchewan recovered the football. The ball crossed the line of scrimmage. It's a first down, Saskatchewan, with 1 second left on the clock.
Okay, who had Saskatchewan ball in the pool? I'm just going to check now. I can't recall seeing something like this.
Yeah,
exactly this way.
In the whole breakdown, you will see Hamilton actually does touch the football.
But it does go over the line of scrimmage, of course. Short punt that it was coming back, so.
So Vedvik is, as the punter, he's onside. He can touch the ball. He's the one who touches it. Goes off, I believe it was Cariel Brooks was the Hamilton player. That ball is now sort of fair game for any Saskatchewan player to recover. All leading up to that.
No harm, no foul for the Riders, who escape unscathed with their 5-point lead. Saskatchewan 14, Hamilton 9, and here to talk all about this, including the ending perhaps. Let's go back to the studio and Kate Burnett.
CFL football game is up for grabs. It's Friday night football tonight.
Back in Hamilton, the Saskatchewan Roughriders leading the Tiger Cats 14-9. Let's go down to Matthew now with Ticat running back Wes Hills.
Wes, with what is on the line, what was the conversations at halftime?
Hey, must have. Got to win it. Got to figure it out. We got 30 minutes to make it happen.
And in terms of figuring out, does that start the line of scrimmage and you pounding the rock?
It starts all across the board, man. The line, receivers, quarterbacks, everything. We all got to turn it out a little bit. You know what I mean? Turn it up, get it going, play our football. You know?
Thanks, Wes.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
He had 10 carries for 50 yards, so 5 a carry even for Orlando Steinauer's Ticats. And, you know, some big plays on special teams. Didn't blow up in the Riders' face at the end with the short punt by Vedvik, but the block punt certainly hurt Hamilton by Blaise Brown setting them up for the go-ahead points.
Yeah, you know, great play call, great decision by the Saskatchewan Roughriders to go after that one under the circumstances, sort of playing to the conditions, situational football. And they came up big. And it's really the difference in the ball game, quite literally at this point.
It is on the touchdown 2 plays later by McKinnis. So 14-9, Lawther to kick it off. The Ticats had deferred, and they are taking the football here to start the second half. And they'll be against the wind in the fourth quarter. Lawrence Woods, he gets bobbled and he gets taken down. Really got hit shy of the 30 for Dane Evans, who was 5 for 13 only, 137, and was intercepted twice.
Yeah, Evans, those 2 interceptions, one on a deep ball, taking a shot, basically kind of going for the big play after a quick change, looking for that momentum shot. And then the other one took potential points off the board. Pete Robertson stepping in front of Tim White on a screen pass.
Read it perfectly from the 29 and a first down. Hills adding to his 50 in the first half with a good carry. It's up around the 37, 38. It'll set up a second and short for the Ticats.
A good start, good continuation in terms of the run game. Wes Hills pounding the rock. We'll see if Hamilton opens it up a little bit here. Saskatchewan electing to take the wind in the fourth quarter of this football game, so a little bit of pressure on the Hamilton Tiger Cats to make some hay here in the third.
See Julian Hauser coming in, add some size in this short yardage situation in second down, about a yard away with it spotted around the 38. Ticats 4 wins. If they can win tonight, they get to within 1 win, 2 points of Saskatchewan for what right now is looking like the final.
Please reset the game clock to read 14 minutes and 10 seconds.
Readjusting the game clock, but they want to get within 2 points of Saskatchewan for what would be the final playoff spot. The Riders' only route to the playoffs.
On the previous play, number 69 Hamilton was closing the line. This is an illegal procedure. Whoa.
Well, that's a fancy way of saying Hamilton had no end.
And so when it looked like it would be the second and a yard, instead it's 1st and 15. Procedure call against Colin Kelly.
It's now 1st and 15 for the Cats from the 24-yard line.
But again, right now, the Riders' only route to the playoffs is crossing over to the east in a month. Saskatchewan trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. 4 games to go, including this one. Some movement by Pete Robertson at the line with the flag coming out. And a free play for Hamilton here. And that is Godwin with it. And Terry Godwin in his debut gets it up around the 40 and enough for a first down.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 45. That penalty's decline. First down.
Quick hitter here. Terry Godwin. Look at Macy Leonard was in the vicinity. Looked like he sort of paused for a second to make a decision between playing the ball and taking the hit on Godwin.
So they have it up in the 40. Right side, Wes Hills has some room. And another good carry for Wes Hills for a first down near midfield, Hamilton.
And you don't necessarily anticipate the 220-pounder sort of bouncing the runs out to the perimeter. But that's been a lot of the MO for the Hamilton Tiger Cats here. Hill's doing a nice job out there. Again, moving the sticks for the black and gold.
So a gain of 13 that time from the Hamilton 53. First down. Starting the second half, trailing by 5. Why not? Back in the hands of Hills. And another good carry on first down inside the Rider 50.
And I'll go back to the discussion in the pregame, Rod, about the last meeting between these two teams being decided in the trenches at the line of scrimmage. Saskatchewan, particularly in the passing game, pass rush, dominated at the line of scrimmage. 8 sacks against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Tiger Cats flipping the script here a little bit, going to the run game, And they're kind of winning that battle now at the line of scrimmage, wearing out the Saskatchewan defense in front.
Back to Hills in the 2nd and 2, first down and more. He's running over tacklers. Hills taking it down to the Saskatchewan 30.
Getting after it a little bit. Take a look at the work of this offensive line. Here you'll see newly acquired center David Beard, picked up from the Edmonton Elks. Nice reach and seal there from him.
With the CFL's leading tackler, Darnell Sankey, miss him there. Gain of 19 from the 30. And this Ticats drive to start the second half. The toss to Sean Thomas Erlington, and not much there, taken down by Larry Dean, the ex-Ticat.
Hamilton looking for a little bit of misdirection there, trying to get some flow to the left and a quick pitch back to the right to Sean Thomas Erlington. And you'll see initial flow with the motion to Tim White going left. Evans opens that way before pitching it back. Larry Dean doing a nice job coming outside in on that one. Good leverage, ensuring that Thomas Erlington can't get to the perimeter before committing to the tackle.
Movement to the right tackle. That's Colin Kelly over Pete Robertson, and looks to be
legal procedure
against the Cats.
Hamilton number 69, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Yeah, we know the season that Pete Robertson has had, in particular the success that he had against Hamilton, a couple of sacks in week 1. Colin Kelly well aware of it, trying to make sure he doesn't get beaten by the quickness of Pete Robertson.
It was the second play from scrimmage in that opener week 1. Robertson forced a fumble. Pressure on Evans here, and he just tosses it away, shuffled it off for Thomas Erlington, and falls incomplete. Seth Small coming on now.
Dane Evans on his way down there, just trying to make something happen before he hits the turf. Unable to connect with Thomas Erlington. Unfortunate for the Tiger Cats.
Seth Small 42 yards away. Seth Small with the field goal to make it a 2-point game. 14-12 Riders, Friday Night Football in Hamilton. Big first half for Saskatchewan's leading receiver, Kean Schaefer-Baker, 4 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he's given us a little bit of everything in the opening 30 minutes on this one. Some great work after the catch. Quick hitter for the touchdown. Fighting his way through some tackles. Nice acrobatic grab here before taking the hit.
Cody Fajardo, meanwhile, 17 and 19. He's completed 11 straight on the toss here to Cooper. And he is taken down. Tunde Adeleke coming in to safety. And loss of a yard for maybe 2 for Saskatchewan there.
Well, this is a fantastic play by Tunde Adeleke. I mean, the whole gist of this play is that you're trying to isolate this defender by forcing him to defend 2 people, the quarterback and the running back. He's got to pick one. So Adeleke forces the pitch, but then he's so fast that he's just going to run down the running back anyway. Adeleke, Carleton University product, originally drafted by the Calgary Stampeders before coming over to Hamilton in free agency.
2nd and 12, over the middle, it's complete. And right near the first down marker 2, that is Braden Lenius. See where they spot the ball. This looks like it'll be, yes, it is a first down for Saskatchewan and Lenius.
Well, here you're going to get a look exactly where this ball is coming, into the middle of the field. Braden Lenius coming from the left side of your screen, right on the edge of the screen. And he's just going to curl into open space. Cameron Kelly playing with a little bit of depth on that one. Lenius sitting it down in front of him.
Fajardo, 18 for 20. Tuck and Awachi both coming in. And quickly for Shaq is incomplete. 2nd down.
As It's been a grind for Shaq Evans. Sort of trying to get back in the groove here since returning from injury.
And so, by the way, ends a career-high completion streak of 12 for Cody Fajardo. First incompletion in a while. He went on that run after the interception in the first half by Richard Leonard. 2-point game. 2nd and 10. Riders at their 50. Go a long way towards a playoff spot with a win here tonight. Pressure's coming. Running out of steamboats. He's down. Flag is out. Mason Bennett among those Ticats putting the heat on the Rider QB.
Holding Saskatchewan number 66. Got penalties decline. 3rd down.
It's going to go against the right tackle, Cooper Richardson. Mason Bennett lined up just on his outside shoulder. Beats him with a quick move to the inside that forces the hold.
Julian Hauser with that sack, brought to you by
And that is the 58th time done by committee by Hamilton, by the looks of things. 58th time Fajardo has been sacked. Lead the way in that dubious department for Saskatchewan in the CFL. Bedvik. The punt against the breeze. His last one was very short. That one's low and much better for Lawrence Woods. Across the 45 to the 50.
12-yard return for Lawrence Woods.
Ticat defense called a team meeting. Looks like Mason Bennett was leading it. All around Cody Fajardo. Hamilton football down 2. Dwayne Ford's second favorite game after Jeopardy. Friday Night Football trivia celebrating 25 years. Who set the single game tackles record in Friday Night Football? Sometime between 1997 and now. So, Mr. Ford, I'll give you a few moments to think about that.
I don't need it.
Please phrase it in the form of a question.
I have the response.
Wes Hills. And the first time they have stopped Hills, who's had a pretty good day. 90 yards. 50 coming in. He's got 40 already in the second half, but nothing doing there. They stop him cold at 2nd down.
Hamilton had so much success on their last possession running the football, marching down the field, and then they got away from it and it got derailed.
Good protection, good time. Had a receiver, it's dropped. Brown with the coverage there, and Lamar Durant, who could not hang on. Coverage was good for the Roughriders, and that'll leave Hamilton at 3rd and 10.
We'll see if Brown maybe got a hand in on this one. As you see Durant working across the field here. Just not able to control it as he was on his way down.
Saskatchewan ball now. Mario Alford, Stavros Katsantonis, one of their special teams tackles leader, takes him right down to the 15. So Fajardo and the Riders leading by 2, starting deep in their own zone. All right, Ford's had enough time. He didn't need any, really. Here's a Friday Night Football trivia answer. Who set the single game tackle record in Friday Night Football? There you go.
Who is Simone Lawrence?
Well done. 17 of them, September 27th on a Friday night in 2019. To lead the way in a single game. He's not playing tonight. He's missed several games with a knee injury. There he is there.
Let's go, D!
Reduced to a rule on this night of cheering them on, but one of the great linebackers, certainly one of the great defensive players in the history of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, leading tackler all time. That one's complete to Kyron Moore, and a 1st down for Saskatchewan.
First down, Saskatchewan.
Well, Fajardo looking to start a new completion streak right here. Moore.
And that makes him 19 of 22 for 194, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick for Cody Fajardo. But The other part of this is the pressure that constantly gets on him. That time it is Micah Johnson with the sack. As Fajardo goes down again, 5th sack of the season for big Micah Johnson.
That's one way to cool off a hot quarterback. Keep him on the ground. Micah Johnson, through his career, having proven himself to be one of the top interior pass rush guys in the league. You saw that quick swim. It's a guy who was a linebacker in college.
So 2nd and 15, Fajardo steps up, and it's Johnson again in there to take him down on that run. Not a sack, but not nearly enough for a first down, as it'll be 3rd and 2 and out. Or not, excuse me, they had a first down on this drive, but they will have to punt it from fairly deep in their own zone. Vedvik will probably be down around the 10. And Lawrence Woods back in the lineup. Had been the top returner in the CFL when he got hurt back in August the 20th. Week 11 in Montreal. They've been missing him. Rushing up in their punt protection formation. Against the wind, near midfield, Woods. Not much of a return, but a good place for Dane Evans and the Ticats to start. Micah Johnson, another big sack for the Ticats. Matthew will have more on Hamilton's defensive tackle coming up. Consider everything he's done in his decade of dominance in the CFL, including a 14 quarterback sack year for a guy in the interior. Let's go back to Matthew.
Yeah, 2018 was Micah Johnson's year, really, but he came to Hamilton this season expecting to have maybe a season like that. It hasn't gone that way, but he doesn't put it on defensive line coach Randy Melvin or Orlando Steinauer. If anything, Micah told us this week, I've wanted to apologize to the coaches for the way that we've played, but he takes a look at his career after football and being not just a leader on the field, but a leader of men. And says Orlando Steinauer has been so important in him understanding what it takes to inspire. Listen, the way the Ticats season has gone, Orlando Steinauer hasn't put it on the players. If anything, he's been trying to inspire with all of the quotes. Micah Johnson going into tonight said the one that really touches him, no excuses means no regrets, guys.
And Matthew, we hadn't pointed out, he's an ex-Rider, a lot of friends still here. He came over as a free agent to Saskatchewan and played through an ankle injury through much of that 2019 season, coming off the big year before. Here's a deep ball, Evans. That is too far for Tim White.
Yeah, that one sailing a little bit on Dane Evans. White had a step on his man down that sideline. Take a closer look here. Seeing Blaise Brown continue to do battle. Brown getting in the hip pocket. A little bit of hand fighting there.
Well, Brown making the most of his chance to play again. For Evans, just a bit too far. Brown, you saw the coverage earlier in Lamar Durant, and he had a blocked punt that set up Saskatchewan for their second touchdown. Inserted after the injury, Murray Henderson. So a 2nd and 10 now from the Saskatchewan 52. It is knocked down. Miles Brown got a paw on it. And down it goes. 3rd down now.
Well, Miles Brown getting an opportunity to play. The interior of that Saskatchewan defensive line.
Saskatchewan number 28. This is a 10-yard penalty that will result in a first down.
So that play by Miles Brown knocking it down to no avail. We just talked about Blaise Brown and took a penalty that gives Hamilton the ball up at the Saskatchewan 42 and a first down.
Brown getting tied up there with Anthony Johnson.
So drive continues. Wes Hills. A lot of running in this game. Picks up a few more yards, down approaching the 35. 5 more to his total, which is closing in on 100 now. Injured rider on the field. It's the safety, Mike Edem.
Bel Air Direct and the CFL want you to enjoy the game's simple pleasures. Enter for a chance to win the grand prize of an all-inclusive trip for two to the 109th Grey Cup.
So Edem runs off to the sideline and takes a knee there.
Well, take a look at those rushing numbers at the bottom of your screen for the starting running backs. West Hills 95-yard Shaq Cooper coming into the Saskatchewan lineup, having just 2 yards on the day.
And the safety is Jaden Dalkey now, the rookie out of Alberta. They run the ball again. Why not on a 2nd and 5? That kind of night for West Hills. And this is a team that is not known for running the football. This is one of their better rushing performances of the season.
Yeah, it looked like there was some confusion here, but a nice recovery from Dane Evans to get back to his left, get that one in West Hills' hands to pick up the first down.
Jaden Dalkey remains at safety for Mike Edem. Hills again. They stay with him, grinding it down, and doing this with the wind that gets inside the 25.
Hamilton continuing to pound the ball on the inside. Nice job there from Hills. Picking and choosing his way. They've done a nice job mixing it up. Inside, outside with the runners. We've seen Hills bounce a couple around the edge.
7 carries for 57 in this half. There's number 8 of the half. And remember, he had 10 carries for 50 yards even in the first half, so he has gone over 100 and counting. Still just under 2 minutes to go until three-quarter time.
A big decision here for Hamilton. This 3rd and short. You're getting down to a minute and a half left in this quarter. Wind at their backs as it looks like they're sending the field goal team out there with kicker Seth Small and holder Matthew Schultz. But a chance to take the lead with a field goal before the end of this quarter.
I had assumed, because it's a strong breeze tonight, that when Hamilton deferred in the coin toss, they would want the wind in the 4th quarter. Instead, they took the ball to start, and looking for more points to show for it here. It was 14-9 at the half, looking for another Seth Small field goal. A shorter one as he goes 3 for 3, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats lead this game now by a point. And I'll tell you, the NFL on TSN continues Sunday live from London. Special international showdown between the Giants and Packers. Coverage keeps rolling with a full slate of afternoon matches and Sunday night football. You can catch Leonard Williams, Aaron Rodgers squaring off overseas Sunday, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, bright and early on TSN and CTV. And don't miss the biggest plays with NFL Red Zone, available on TSN.ca and the TSN app. Big weekend for the CFL, too, with Saskatchewan wanting to get closer to that crossover spot, their route to the playoffs, with a 4-point lead over the Ticats, but now trailing in this game. It is 15-14 after that small field goal, final minute of the 3rd. Shaq Cooper. First game with the Riders, with all the injuries at running back. Last week, Keenan LaFrance, after Frankie Hickson went down, after Jamal Morrow went down. So Cooper getting his shot. And a late flag has come out after a 5-yard gain.
Not sure if something was done or said in the Hamilton bench area there.
After the play, objectionable conduct, Saskatchewan 0-0. This will be a 10-yard penalty, and it is a misconduct. It will be 2nd down.
See the tail end of this one as Cooper is taken out of bounds.
Is he mouthing off there with Simone Lawrence? Is Simone finding a way to be a factor in this game from the sideline?
The noted choir boy, Simone Lawrence.
Well, that'll make Rider fans pretty happy, I'm sure.
What are they going to do? Dislike Simone more in Saskatchewan?
Not sure that's possible. 2nd and 15. Fajardo. More pressure. Flag down. Malik Carney. Sacked again.
Holding. Saskatchewan number 66. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
So the holding doesn't matter. It is the 6th time that the Ticats have sacked Cody Fajardo tonight.
Malik Carney making the most of his opportunity in the lineup for the Hamilton Tiger Cats here tonight. Getting lots of reps off the edge. Left tackle Vaughn did a nice job staying with him on that spin move, but it's just a matter of Carney's keeping his motor running as they got flushed.
Final play, 3rd quarter. Bounces down to Lawrence Woods. Cross midfield and more. Oh, they've been missing the big returns of Woods as his best one of the night. To give Hamilton the football to start the 4th quarter against the Breeze, but in Saskatchewan territory. And now with the lead. Couple of field goals by Seth Small. And a 1-point difference heading to the final 15. And a lot at stake. One of the most beloved players ever to wear the black and gold of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Danny McManus, already in the Hall of Fame, and tonight at halftime honored by this franchise, going in the Wall of Honor, and richly deserved. And celebrating the way Danny Mac would. Would there be any other way? And there it is. Number 14. And he was the quarterback the last time this team won the Grey Cup back in 1999. Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
You had such a wonderful career. I remember you with Edmonton and BC, with Winnipeg before that. But I identify you more for your time with the Ticats. What does it mean to you getting this honor?
It's a special honor, not just for me, but for the guys that I played with. To be up on that wall, it's for them. We're all up there. And I'm a team guy, football's team. And Dwayne knows that, is that anybody that played in the black and gold during that time frame, it's just that all their names are up there with me.
Well, what was it about this place, though, that, you know, as Rod said, you'd had a couple of previous stops in your career, but it was almost like this place became home the moment you arrived here?
Absolutely, and that was Ron Lancaster. I mean, Ron brought me here from Edmonton, and it was an opportunity to run his offense. And when you have the support from your head coach who had played the position, this is one of the things that he goes out there and says, I want you to run my team. Do it the way you can do it. Do it the best way you can.
It's interesting because Ron came over as head coach in '98 from Edmonton. Deep look here, Dane Evans, and he wanted Godwin. It falls incomplete on that 2nd down. But not only Lancaster, but brings you along, and Darren Flutie. And you had success with both Edmonton and won a Grey Cup in BC with Darren Flutie.
Yes, I did with Darren, and I think it was one of those tie-ins. Like, Ron wanted me to come, but then he also always said that, hey, can you bring Darren with you? So it was one of those, it wasn't just me, it was everybody. I mean, like, Darren is like another quarterback on the field. I've always said that about him. And it's from my standpoint and the different ways of seeing the field, what Darren did for other receivers was outstanding. He's not only opening himself up, but opening other guys up as well.
So a 3rd and 6 now. And Michael Domagala around midfield. The punt against this wind. A little different here at Tim Hortons Field now than the old Ivor Wind days, with the wind now going right against it. And that one bobbled by Alford, and he has no choice but to just cover up and inside the 10 for Saskatchewan football. Well, here I want to show you this. Your old teammate and friend Darren Flutie doing Pigskin Pete by committee, and it was Flutie's turn tonight. What do you think of the form?
He's good. He's getting into it. Look at, I mean, just the excitement of him being back here. And it's been 20 years since he's been back in Hamilton, and it was like he just picked it up right away. It was like yesterday that we haven't seen him, but he's an outstanding guy, and it just works out to have him back here doing the stuff with the black and gold is outstanding.
Did you get back to $40 that he owes you?
No, it's still the same point. He keeps the change. That's the bad part.
Rider ball, Cody Fajardo. Oh, he's faced the heat tonight. Spikes it down with flags coming out everywhere. Throwing it just inside his goal line, but as good night as he's had for completion percentage, he just can't buy himself any time to get rid of the ball. You wore the headset for a while. I remember doing a game with you, former TSN commentator for 1 year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun being up here calling the game, seeing it at a different angle. But you know, there's nothing that compares to being out there on the field. As we all know, that is the contact that you're sitting and you're getting hit on, and then to see Cody out there trying to run around to find something happening. He looked like he was trying to save his life out there, just getting rid of the football.
You know, tell me a little bit about the reception. I mean, you know, you're obviously a very popular guy in Hamilton, but, you know, you've kind of rained on the parade a little bit the last couple of years as the assistant general manager of the two-time defending Grey Cup champions.
Yeah, I mean, there is a part of me that feels bad about that, but just a small part, because
I understand.
Because the ring is gigantic that the players put together, so it works out well. But I mean, I feel for them, but I'm happy with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are playing, and you know, Mike O'Shea is doing a great job with those guys, and we're just trying to help them out each day.
Well, they can't hold it against you too much because you were a big part of the team that was the last Grey Cup champion for Hamilton back in 1999.
There is 2 fouls on the play. The first foul is holding on Saskatchewan. That penalty is declined. Then we've got intentional grounding, Saskatchewan number 7. The ball was in the field of play. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line, and it will be second down.
As Cody tries to find his way out of this tough situation, Danny, I want to ask you a little bit about, you know, where some of your philosophies on team building came from. Because, I mean, you're a guy who was very much, I know in everything you said, everything you did during your playing career was about team and about bringing the group together. But where did that start for you?
Well, I think it was important. It started back with Coach Bobby Bowden at Florida State, and then it continued on with Ron Lancaster here at Hamilton. So it was just one of those things that we always want to work on, is getting the team better and getting them stronger.
A little stressed out on the field, too. A little trouble brewing between these two teams. Tempers flaring. And they do get them separated. Orlando Steinauer coming on the field. Settling down, Javon Santos-Knox. A lot at stake. I'm sure you can appreciate that from your days, that, like, especially late in the season too, when Saskatchewan needs to cross over into the East, and this is the team they've got to stay ahead. And you know, the 2 points tonight mean a whole lot to these teams.
Yes, it's playoff football now. Anytime you get into October, it's a playoff atmosphere, and these teams are battling. They want to get into that second season. That's what we always talk about. Get into the second season, then anything can happen. And these two teams are doing whatever they can to get into that. So it's going to be important.
Objectionable conduct, misconduct. Hamilton number 45, 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, that certainly buys the Riders a break. When they were deep in their own zone, they were to start at their 1. So Santos-Knox penalized in that misconduct, so moves Saskatchewan out, gives them a little bit of breathing room.
Not much in the field position there to work with.
So out to the 11 with the penalty to Santos-Knox. It's a 2nd and 7. 4-man rush. He has time. Swings it out, and he completes it too. Shaq Cooper goes back the other way. Finds some room and picks up some blocks, and he gets a first down on a good effort after the catch to come back the other way across the field for Shaq Cooper in his Rider debut. Pretty costly penalty.
Yeah, let them off the hook there. As we take a look back at the work here by Shaq Cooper, ran a long way for a 10-yard gain. Danny, you know, I want to ask you as well. You know, I would think that as a game, a memorable game, the 99 Grey Cup would be at the top of the list for you. But is there a play from your time in black and gold that stands out in your memory as one of your favorites?
Nothing that stands out. I mean, just the competitiveness of going out there playing and having fun And just going down the field and plays clicking left and right, and you're just going down there and you're making a drive. But there's not one play that sticks out. I mean, me and Darren were talking about that the other day. Is there anything that sticks out between your career and my career? But it wasn't that. It was more of what was happening on the road trip, what was happening on the train trip. I mean, those are the things you talk about, and that's where team is. It's more off the field than it is on the field.
Yeah, and I know from playing against you guys, but being around guys on that team, but also having the opportunity to play with that group for a couple of years. Very uniquely close group of guys, and
yes,
dangerously fun group of guys as well.
Well, you were later teammates when you came over to Hamilton for a couple of years.
01 and 02.
Yeah, and the theme was we always asked ourselves, how do we win a game with the guys that we had? We had a bunch of characters, but it just seemed for on game day, the 60 minutes that we played wearing the black and gold was focused on each guy playing for the guy next to you. And we wanted to do that. We wanted to do the best we could to help that guy out. And it turned into wins, and then another win, then another win, and then it ended up being a Grey Cup championship. And ideally, that's what a team is built by. It's just guys playing for each other. And once the head coach knows that these guys understand that it's their team, then things will go to the next level. And that's where every team wants to get to. And you know, that's the hardest part. And I know every coach thinks about doing that each year to try to get those things going.
That pass to Schaefer Baker, just about a first down at his second and inches now at the Rider 33. And just keeping it for the first down around the 35. The leading passer in the history of the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Danny Mack. Look at those numbers. There are a few picks along the way, but that was part of the game, right?
But Rod, they're completions, though. Count them as completions, okay?
It's weird because as I look at the monitor, it seems like there's still space on the screen, but they didn't put your rushing numbers up.
Yeah, well, there was one carry for 19 yards. So,
well, I mean, as I say, you won a Grey Cup with BC, that remarkable Lions team, and a backup with Winnipeg. You got a ring back in 1990 as well. But truly fabulous career, and obviously you've had the Hall of Fame honor, but this must mean a lot to you as well to be honored in a city where you're so beloved.
This was big. I mean, because there's only 25 guys up there, and I happen to be number 25. But it's also a reflection of the guys that I played with. I mean, there's a lot of guys that when Darren and I came here in 98, that 1997 team was 2-16 and took a lot of heat. And we wanted to try to turn that around as quick as we could. And we were able to get into a Grey Cup against Dwayne, but those guys beat us. But then we got a chance in the 99 for a rematch, and we were able to finish the deal at that point.
Micah Johnson got an objectionable conduct penalty too, so Riders on the move for Jardo as he gets closer to midfield as this drive continues.
Well, I know in addition to what you did on the field, that obviously plays a big part in this honor for you. I know you take a lot of pride in what you did off the field in the community here in Hamilton. I want you to talk a little bit
Well, I
about
think,
that.
you know, when you're playing, you want to be a part of the community. You just don't want to be a player that comes up and you're only here for the 18 games and then you go back home or something like that. I wanted to be involved in the community, and I wanted to help out kids. And being working at the Children's Hospital and watching those kids strive every day to get back on the playground, I wanted to help them out as much as I could and try to get our players involved in that as well.
2nd and 5. Fajardo for Shaq Evans. In and out of his hands. He would have had a first down and more. Instead, it's a 3rd and 5.
Frustration continues for Shaq Evans as he tries to get this thing back on the rails. Gets inside position here. Nice release off the line. Fajardo puts it on him, but got into the pads, unable to grab it in his hands, forcing this punt situation.
For Corey Vedvik, and this time, although the breeze is dying down, he does have it behind him, kicking it to Lawrence Woods, who stands at his 10. And right to him, at the 13. Good coverage by the Riders. Danny Mack, Hall of Famer, and now the 25th name to go to the Wall of Honor, has said richly deserved.
Thank you,
Congratulations,
buddy.
my
I
friend.
appreciate it. Thank you, my man. Thank you. I appreciate
Danny
you guys.
McManus honored at halftime tonight. 4th quarter, 15-14, Ticats with the ball. Let's reset the stage here in the 4th quarter. Saskatchewan trails Hamilton 15-14. If the Ticats win this game, they move to within 2 points of Saskatchewan for the final playoff spot. If the Riders can win it, almost put a lock on it. That's complete. Tim White has it. Up close to the 30 and a first down for Hamilton.
A big one there to buy a little bit of breathing room for Dane Evans. Tim White motioning out wide here. Tight end formation for the Tiger Cats. They got Moncrief running downhill to cover the tight end in the flat, opening up that curl on the inside for White.
That completion ending a 4-pass string of incompletions for Dane Evans, who's 7 for 19. Flag coming out with the snap of the ball, the Hamilton 30.
Illegal procedure. Hamilton number 62. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So penalty Hamilton, but once again, can't emphasize it enough. If you look at the East standings with the Argos, they've clinched at least second place. Can do no worse than second. They'll finish the season with a couple against Montreal. The Alouettes have Ottawa on Monday. The Argos tomorrow against BC. And the Red Blacks have not mathematically been eliminated yet. No team has. Saskatchewan trying to cross over. Well, they have to have a better record than the third-place team, which right now is Hamilton. Evans gets rid of it to Sean Thomas Erlington. And getting that to the 30. So second down and long.
Personnel-wise, Tiger Cats look like they're going to get back to that base 5 receiver set for this second and long situation.
With Godwin out to the right at the top of your screen. Tarchanowski flanking out wide to the left. 3 slot backs waggle. Evans has time. He completes it to Anthony Johnson. And he gets up near the 40 again, looking like it might be just enough for a first down. The Ticats looking to convert. Yes, they do indeed, keeping this drive going.
Yeah, it looked for a minute after Johnson caught this ball, like the stop and start move there, cutting back to the middle might get him in trouble and leave him short of that first down, but good effort and a little help from his friends. Brendan Revenberg and others helping to make sure he moves forward past that first down marker.
3 straight completions for Evans. First time tonight. Thomas Erlington, the ball carrier. And A.C. Leonard met him, and Jeremy Clark helped out too for a loss on the play.
Yeah, Leonard, the guy who initially disrupted this one. He's coming from the edge. Far right-hand side of your screen in that stand-up position. He's just going to shed the block of the receiver, Johnson, and make his way into the backfield. Create another second and long for the Tiger Cats.
Fourth quarter, 6:40 on the clock. Evans on second down. Over to the right, wide open receiver, and yardage after the catch, too, for the big running back, Wes Hills, who has it down to the Saskatchewan 45 and a first down Hamilton.
I'm sure for Wes Hills, it felt like that ball was in the air forever, as he was standing wide open, sort of out in the flat to the right as Dane Evans had drifted to his left. But he gets it out there, and Hills, good effort after the catch to take this one into Rider territory.
20th touch of the night for Hills, and that's his first catch. It's a big one. Got over 100 on the ground. Play fake. Evans with time to Durant. The 40 and just gets inside, so picks up about 6 more yards for the Ticats.
A little bit more manageable second down situation here than the last couple the Tiger Cats have had to overcome.
Working tempo over the ball quickly now on the second down and short. Handing off to Hills. And getting it to right about the 35. Just past it, and another first down for Hamilton. An impressive drive they got going with.
Now, and you wonder if some of the work that Wes Hills and the offensive line did in the run game through the first 3 quarters of this football game are maybe paying some dividends now. against a Saskatchewan defensive line that may be tiring a little bit. Again, they've had 300-pounders leaning on them. Hills is a big body pounding it as well. And, you know, with injuries and a guy like Anthony Lanier out of the lineup, there's not as much depth on this defensive line as there was earlier in the year.
Straight up the gut. More Wes Hills inside the 30. But 5-6 more. Second down, Hamilton.
A change made at that running back position as the Tiger Cats were looking for a little bit of a spark to their ground game, and Wes Hills over the last few weeks seems to have provided that, certainly delivering tonight.
This is the 10th play of the drive. They lead by only a point. They're killing a lot of clock as well here in the fourth quarter. Back to Hills. Finds a hole, works his way close to another first down inside the 25. Very close.
The Tiger Cats.
Big third down coming up now.
Tiger Cats offensive line kind of playing to their own strengths here tonight, playing to their advantage, leaning on that run game.
They have to get to the 24 on a 3rd and 1. Evans, see where they spot the ball. It is a first down, Hamilton. This drive continues and going on so long, we're approaching the 3-minute mark.
Well, the Tiger Cats, I think, happy to nickel and dime their way on this one and just keep that clock running.
This drive started with 9:55 to go in the fourth quarter. So 7 minutes now. So just get inside 3. Keeping the ball out of the Riders' hands, working their way down into, at the very least, field goal range. And Hills, a big part of that Tiger Cat offense on this drive in this game. They finally do issue the 3-minute warning inside that. Ticats trying to get within a win of Saskatchewan.
CFL Thanksgiving weekend is brought to you by Purolator.
Final minutes here at Tim Hortons Field. The Hamilton Tiger Cats looking for just their 5th win of the season. What a big win it would be for their playoff hopes, which have been flickering. Saskatchewan needing the crossover to the east in order to make the playoffs. They can't do it in the west anymore. Standing on 6 wins. Their last win in late August. They've lost 4 straight, albeit 3 of those 4 were against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and 2 of those in Winnipeg, including last week. Desperately needing a win. Both of these teams are 2nd and 8. The Saskatchewan 22. It's deflected. It got tipped at the line, like A.C. Leonard got up. He did, and falls to a 3rd and 8 in a field goal situation.
A high percentage pass suddenly looked a little bit dangerous there as that one got tipped up in the air. To see A.C. Leonard towards the top of the screen, working against Colin Kelly, just recognizing where that ball was going, getting his hands up in the passing lane, impact the play.
Seth Small will be kicking it inside the 30. He's 3 for 3, 26 of 29 in the season. Right through again, a clutch kick for Seth Small, 4 for 4, as the Ticats open up a 4-point lead.
Uh-oh, look who it is, this guy.
Wow, 37 years old and he made a block like that? Whoa. That was the block of the year. It was pretty.
They gotta put that on CFL Wire.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff on CFL Wire. Don't miss it. Exclusive sights and sounds of CFL games. That's Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific only on TSN. I don't know who's wired up for this one tonight, but there's been a lot of talking down there. A lot at stake. Shaq Cooper, Mario Alford, dangerous return man in a situation where they need a little danger. 18-14. Down 4. Near the 2-minute mark. Left in the fourth quarter. There goes Mario. And he gets up closer to midfield, nearing the 50 for Cody Fajardo. He's completed a lot of passes tonight. He's also found himself under a lot of pressure.
A big return here for Alford, helping his team out a little bit as the Tiger Cats with that 7+ minute drive, culminating in a field goal, making this a 4-point game. Create a little bit of a clock crunch for the Saskatchewan Roughriders here, but a shorter field sure helps.
Taking the handoff out to Kian Schaefer-Baker. Always dangerous after the catch. He has a first down. Cross midfield down near the Ticat 50.
Just a high percentage pass. Put the ball in the hands of one of your playmakers and let him go to work. Schaefer-Baker continues to establish himself as the premier playmaker on this Riders team this season.
Riders, no huddle. Ticat 51, down 4. Heat's coming, down he goes again. Malik Carney again. Yet another sack. That blitz coming, Wilson was coming in. Malik Carney with 3 on the night. He's been a nightmare for Fajardo.
Continuing his big day. Bull rush there. I think somebody else got into the legs of the offensive tackle as well that knocked Taron Vaughn off balance. But Carney making the most of it. Got himself a hattie.
He is 3. Deshaun Joseph with 1. There's Cooper heading off, the injured rider. Diallo with 1. Hauser with 1. Micah Johnson 2. Feasting on Fajardo, 2nd and 14 at midfield. And the whistle's blowing that one down. So 61 sacks, far and away the team that's given up the most quarterback sacks. Fajardo has been taking on that many, and as said last week, impressively for that Rider O-line and offense, he was not sacked at all by the Bombers.
Saskatchewan called a timeout with 1:45 left on the clock.
And Craig Dickinson taking a timeout. Big 2nd down coming up here.
Cody Fajardo has been sacked 25 more times than any other quarterback in the league.
Amazing. That dubious stat has certainly hurt the Riders tonight. 145, needing a touchdown. Midfield, 2nd and 14, getting it away, completing it to Shaq Evans. Down around the 46, still well shy of a first down, and a huge 3rd down coming up here with 1:38 on the clock.
Yeah, plenty of time on the clock. That's certainly not an issue by CFL standards, but it is do or die here with this 3rd and about 5 situation facing it.
Here we go for the Roughriders. Fajardo, incomplete, looking for Kyron Moore. And Hamilton takes over on downs.
Take a look, see how close this one was to Kyron Moore being able to come down with it. You see receivers coach Travis Moore, head coach Greg Dickinson watching that one fall harmlessly to the ground. Much different reaction, of course, for Mark Washington on the Hamilton sideline.
The biggest story in this game for the Ticats offense, their ability to run the football with Wes Hills, who has it again. Not just, the ball does come out, but it looks like Hamilton has it. What a turn of events that would have been had the Riders been able to recover. It's in the hands of Kyle Saxley.
Yeah, I was going to say, for as much good work as Wes Hills and the Hamilton O-line have done today, their hardest work is yet to come in terms of closing this out. And very nearly, as you said, losing the opportunity to do so.
And aside from that, it has been just a brilliant, steady night for Wes Hills. And it's not just the yardage. I was going to say, it's all the time they were able to take off the clock in the fourth quarter. Once again, on the second down, and not close to a first. So third down coming up, under a minute, 53 seconds on the clock, with Michael Domagala, the punter for Hamilton, coming onto the field. So the Riders will get it back in their hands. Alford back. And again, what a spot for what he has done so well since coming to Saskatchewan, even earlier with Montreal. He is dangerous.
And you mentioned 3 kick return touchdowns, but no punts so far here in 2022.
They blocked a punt tonight. It led to a Rider touchdown. Bringing it now. Domagala gets it away. Alford got it away to the right. He takes it. He's at the 20 and just pops out of bounds. Of course, you got to be aware of the clock as well. 23 seconds to go, which leads us to this, the Advil Plus dual action play of the game. A game that's not over, but
yeah, this one supplied by Saskatchewan special teams. Blaise Brown coming in off the edge to block the Michael Domagala punt. That set up a Saskatchewan touchdown. Biggest play made in this football game. Riders hoping that their offense might be able to top that in the final 23 seconds here.
Yeah, was it enough? 23 seconds to go. They need a touchdown. Fajardo. More pressure's coming. And that one just sails out of bounds. The closest receiver was Shaq Evans. 18 seconds left in a 2nd and 10.
And a night where Cody Fajardo has been under siege from that Hamilton Tiger Cat defense. 7 sacks for the black and gold in this one. See Cody Fajardo frequently left just trying to survive back there at times.
More pressure coming. They nearly have him. He gets rid of it, and he completes it too to McInnes up around the 45, just shy. So it is a first down. 9 seconds to go. And as said, field goal's no good. They got to get to the end zone.
Yeah, may have a shot to run a couple more plays here, but long way to go. I thought a second, maybe 2 might have run off the clock at the end of that last play. Fajardo with the escape steps up, finding McInnes for a big first down out around the Saskatchewan 45.
Timer, please reset the game clock to read 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
So they reset for 10 seconds. After this game, the Riders have a bye, then they finish back-to-back against Calgary. Hamilton has 3 games, 1 more game to go. They go to Calgary next week, then they finish with back-to-back against the Ottawa Redblacks. If Hamilton wins this game, there's a lot of pressure on the Riders, just 2 points ahead, to win at least 1 against the Stampeders. And Hamilton would know that regardless of what Saskatchewan does, if the Ticats win this game, if they can win out, which includes beating Calgary in Calgary, they get a playoff spot.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. Can you say that again?
No. Yeah, well, you know what? Here's a more simple one. Limping off now is McInnes after that catch. Maybe the more simple way to put it here, as we head into Week 18. No team's been eliminated yet.
Yeah.
And regardless of the outcome tonight, no team is eliminated. It just makes the scenario a little trickier for Saskatchewan as they're trying to avoid a 5th straight loss, and not looking good right now with 10 seconds on the clock. Without a point in the second half, they led 14-9 after the first.
A masterful job by Hamilton against the wind, particularly in this fourth quarter. That 7+ minute drive that has limited Saskatchewan's opportunities with the ball.
Here we go. Could be the final play. And it's intercepted by Ciante Evans to wrap it up. Tiger Cat defense was brilliant. A fitting way for them to end it in the hands of Evans. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats most certainly are not done yet. Their 5th win of the season. Still 3rd in the East. 2 points behind Saskatchewan for what right now is the final playoff spot.
Yeah, Fajardo airs this one out down the sidelines. Jones, the only white and green jersey. Couple of Cat defenders getting over top.
But a rough year for Orlando Steinauer, but he can crack a smile there, and that man Dane Evans can as well. The defense especially helped get this done, shutting out the Riders in the second half and improving the record to 5-10, such as it is. Yes, they're saying they have a chance. It's going to be interesting. Final couple of weeks here of the CFL regular season. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And thanks for joining us here in Hamilton for Friday Night Football. The final score at Tim Hortons Field. The Tiger Cats come back, and they beat Saskatchewan 18-14. Good night, everybody.